Yes, in the first part of national income accounting, we have done the classification of goods and services. The basic objective behind classification of goods and services was to divide the different goods and services in the economy into two parts, final goods and intermediate goods. What are final goods? All the goods which are used by the consumer, whether durable or non-durable, and capital goods with the producer is known as final goods. These goods are at their end use. Intermediate goods means all the goods which are used in production by the producer, non-durable goods and services, and goods for resale is called intermediate goods. Why we have gone for this classification? Because in national income accounting, we include the value of only final goods. Then the question is, why in national income accounting we include the value of final goods? The answer is simple: to avoid double counting problem. Double counting problem. What is double counting problem? When we count the value of one item more than one time, that is called double counting. If in the national income we count the value of single item more than one, so whatever the data, whatever the measurement we are going to have of national income, it will not up to the mark. It will not up to the mark because we have included or recorded the value of single item more than one time. We are not going to get the right information. So to get the exact, you can answer, what we do, we include only the value of final goods. How the double counting takes place? For an example, in the economy, milk was produced. A hypothetical example. The total milk produced was of rupees 2000. Then milk was converted into curd. And total value of curd is rupees 4000. Now if you take milk also in the total goods and services, you take curd also. So here in curd, the milk value is already included. So here you have taken the milk and again you have taken curd. Inside the curd, the value of milk is there. So how many times you have included the value of milk? One time here, one time here. How many times? Two times. So to avoid this problem of double counting, we only include the value of final goods and services. So if the question is, why in national income we include the value of final goods and services, the answer is to avoid double counting problem. So that the value of an item should be included once only. Now how we go for the national income accounting? I will start from value of output. First, what we do, we calculate the value of output. Now what is value of output? Value of output means value of all goods and services produced in the economy. When I am saying all means, I am talking of final goods as well as intermediate goods. So first what we are doing, we are going to calculate the value of all goods and services. We are going to calculate value of all goods and services. And when I am saying all goods, it means final goods as well as intermediate goods. So how we calculate the value of all goods and services produced in the economy? We move to the producers. In the economy, you will find two types of producer. One who maintain the balance sheet, who has got the account of everything. If you visit those enterprises, you can check all accounts. If you calculate, if you ask them for the data for labor expenses, you will get. Interest payment, you will get. Rent payment, you will get. So they maintain the balance sheet, what we call corporate enterprises. One producer is called corporate enterprises. So what is corporate enterprises? Those enterprises who maintain balance sheet. It means there you can find all type of data. You can find the labor expenses, you can find the land expenses, you can find the capital expenditure, you can find the raw material expenditure. All data has been maintained, all expenditure has been maintained in a proper way, in proper sheet. Second, if you move to the small scale enterprises, you will find they do not maintain balance sheet. If you go to the vegetable seller, not maintaining the balance sheet, but is contributing in the flow of goods and services. If you go to barber, if you go to a tailor, right? These are the small scale enterprises, they are not going to maintain balance sheet. So they don't have a proper accounting system. They are called unincorporated enterprises. Unincorporated enterprises. So there is two types of producers. One, they maintain the proper account, balance sheet. They are called corporate enterprises. Other, they do not maintain the balance sheet, called unincorporated enterprises or small scale producers, or you call self-employed. Example of corporate enterprises, JK White Cement is a corporate enterprise. Example of unincorporated enterprises, retail shopkeeper, barber, cobbler, self-employed person. Self-employed means they generate the employment through self. A teacher is taking tuition classes, self-employment. So there you will not find the balance sheet is maintained. So the enterprise where balance sheet is maintained is called corporate enterprises. And the small scale producer or self-employed person, that is called unincorporated enterprises. Now first we are going to discuss how value of output is calculated. Value of goods and services calculated which have been produced by the corporate enterprise. I will explain you with the help of very simple example. First we are going to discuss how value of output or value of all goods and services is calculated in the corporate enterprises. If you move to any corporate enterprise, let us have the example of JK White Cement. And you take a 1 pack of white cement, right? This is the 1 pack of white cement. And you look into its market price. Suppose its market price is rupees 600. So what is the value of 1 packet of white cement? 600. If you ask from that person who is charging you rupees 60, why the value of 1 pack of white cement is rupees 600, the immediate answer will be because total expenditure incurred over this 1 packet of white cement is rupees 60. So if you want to look into that how this figure came out, so you have to look into what expenditure incurred in making 1 packet of white cement. If you are going for the production of white cement, first what is required? Land. You have to make the expenditure on land. There are two types of expenditure on land. You are taking limestone from the land. It means you are using mineral from the land. And when you are taking limestone from the land, you have to make the payment to the government. What do you call it? The royalty. Right? What is royalty? It is a payment against the minerals used from the land. Right? So for an example, in the production of white cement, what we are using? Limestone. It is taken from the land. Against that, what we make the payment is called royalty. And at the same time, you have to establish your business on the land. And for this, again, land is required. If you look into the plant, where you will establish the plant? Not in the sky. For that, land is required. And against that land, what payment you make is called rent. So there is two types of payment made against the land by the producer. If producer is using the minerals from the land, against that what he is paying is called royalty. And if producer is using simply land, not minerals, what payment is made called rent. Suppose for 1 packet of white cement, what limestone is used, over that the royalty is given is rupees 5. And the land which is used, over which rent is given, that is rupees 50. So it means out of these rupees 600, rupees 55 expenditure is made over the land in the form of royalty and land. Royalty and rent. The second factor which is used by the producer in producing the white cement is capital. Without capital, the production is not possible. You need capital for the purchase of machinery, for the purchase of other things. You need capital. And when the producer is taking the capital, maybe from the bank, what payment is made against the capital? That is called interest. So what is interest? It's a payment made against the use of capital. So for starting the business, the firm has taken the capital. Against that capital, the payment is called interest. Suppose per packet the interest comes is approximately rupees 45. So how much expenditure for producing one packet of white cement is made in the form of royalty? 5 rupees. In the form of rent, 50 rupees. In the form of interest, 45 rupees. Total expenditure is 100 rupees. How much amount left? 500 rupees. The next factor over which the firm has to make the expenditure is labor. Without labor, the production is not possible. And when you are using the labor in the production of white cement, against that use, what you are paying to the labor, that is called wages. The payment made to the labor is called wages. And suppose per packet your wages appears rupees 100. So total expenditure is 200. Still 400 is left. Then further, the next factor is entrepreneurial services. Entrepreneurial services means one who is organizing the business, making the production possible, hiring the other factors of production, and against that what payment is made is called profit. And suppose the per packet profit is capped 100. So the total expenditure now 100, 200 and 300. The next factor is fifth one. You have land, right? You have capital, you have labor, you have entrepreneurial services. Now what else you require? You require raw material. Like for the production of white cement, I need electricity, I need water, I need stationery, I need chemicals. That is called raw material. Expenditure on raw material. And per packet expenditure on raw material is suppose rupees 200. Then how much it is? 100, 200, 300. And 300 plus 200, 500. Right? So still rupees 100 is left. Then the next expenditure possible over the production of one packet of white cement is 6. Depreciation. Here depreciation means when you are using the machinery in the production of white cement, there will be loss in its value. There may be tear and wear, there may be accidental damage, there may be change in technology. So whatever machine you are using in the production of white cement, its value is going to deteriorate. Its value is going to decrease. What you call it? Depreciation. And whatever loss in the value, that you are going to add in the value of output. And suppose this loss in the value is of per packet you are calculating, it comes rupees 110. So your total expenditure as an entrepreneur, as an enterprise of JK White Cement over one packet, sorry, not it is 110, it is rupees 50, right? So once again I am repeating it. If you calculate how this one packet of white cement value came rupees 600, you have to look into the expenditure incurred over one packet of white cement. First expenditure is incurred over the land. There is two types of expenditure: royalty if you are using the minerals from the land, And second expenditure, if you are using the land, that is called rent. Suppose royalty paid by per packet by the firm is rupees 5. Rent paid on land use is rupees 50, that comes 55. Interest paid for the capital per packet comes rupees 45. Labor cost per packet in terms of wages comes 100. Entrepreneurial services, that is profit per packet, you have taken 100. And then expenditure on raw material, that comes rupees 200. Then expenditure over repair and maintenance, because when you are using the machine, there will be loss in the value. So you have to make the expenditure. That also you are adding in the value of output. Suppose rupees 50. And then you are shifting the packet of white cement from farm to the market, and in between you are paying the indirect taxes to the government. And total indirect tax paid is rupees 100. So what is the total expenses? If you look into look into royalty 5 and rent 5. It is 55, interest 45, 100, 200, 300, 500, 600 and 650. If total expenses is coming rupees 650, so why the per packet price is rupees 100? The answer is, it is coming rupees 600, but total expense is 650 because government has given subsidies. And how much subsidies per packet is given? 50 rupees. This is subsidies. So your total net indirect tax is how much? 150. So 150, net indirect tax is 100 minus 50 rupees 50. So total 50 plus 50 100 plus 200 300, 300 400, 500 and 600. So how we calculated the value of one packet of white cement? We added royalty, rent, interest, wages, profit, cost of raw material, depreciation and net indirect taxes. Now example is over. Now if you want to take in the form of a formula that how value of output is calculated here, how the value of output calculated here, how I calculated the value of output? Value of output. First I estimated the expenditure on raw material. Raw material means non-durable goods and services, and all non-durable goods and services used by the firm or producer is called intermediate goods, and expenditure on intermediate goods is called intermediate consumption, the first expenditure. Then comes expenditure on labor, what we call it? Wages. Then comes expenditure on land. If you are using the minerals from the land, that is called royalty, and if you are using land, that is called rent. Then expenditure on capital, what we call interest. Then expenditure on entrepreneurial services, that is called profit. Then expenditure on repair and maintenance, that is called depreciation. And then net payment of taxes, that is called indirect tax minus subsidies, which is known as net indirect tax. So this is the first formula how to calculate value of output in corporate enterprises. In corporate enterprises, value of output means expenses incurred over the product produced by the corporate enterprise. How we calculate? We calculate expenditure on raw material, expenditure on labor, expenditure over the minerals available from the land, that is called royalty, expenditure over the use of land called rent, expenditure on capital is called interest, expenditure on entrepreneurial services called profit, expenditure on repair and maintenance called depreciation, and net indirect taxes, how we calculate indirect taxes minus subsidies.